I picked up this new Android tablet on Lenovo's website. It was on for extremely cheap. It was just under $300 Canadian, which would be about 210 US dollars, so around $200 US. And the interesting thing about this is the Gen 2 P11 Pro. It has a 120 hertz OLED screen, which is actually very impressive. Really, I mean, for this kind of price, $200 US, it's very hard to find an OLED screen at 120 hertz on a tablet that has reasonably good specs. Oh, there's the cable under there, so USB to USB-C. I think it's about the same form factor as the P11, which I had. It might be a tiny bit thinner, actually. So on the bottom there, you have your kind of mag thing. So you can get a lot of accessories for these. You can get dedicated keyboards. You can just use any Bluetooth keyboard, but you can hook up the dedicated one, which actually latches in there. And you're going to have stereo speakers, so you have 2 on the left there and 2 on the right. So you get quad speakers, and I found they perform pretty well, at least on previous tablets. SD card there, single USB, and volume up, volume down. And this would be like microphone and stuff. A pretty stock experience, which I prefer. I don't like all kinds of bloat and crap on my tablets. So, you know, this is all stock. I don't even know if there's any Lenovo apps in here. Oh, there's like whatever that is. But it's a pretty stock Android experience, which is nice. My camera will not do it justice, but this OLED is beautiful. Yeah, like, again, my camera, I have it at 60 FPS. You're not going to see it because it's only recording at 60 FPS, but this is 120 to me, and it's buttery smooth. Really, really nice. So you can really see that, you know, when you get onto a 120 hertz screen, oh yeah, that's nice. Sounds really nice. So, there we go. So it's loud, I'm sorry. It has a ton of bass. But this is obviously designed as a media tablet with like a beautiful, hey, there's me, a beautiful OLED screen, and there's my brother. There's me and there's my brother. So if you ever want to watch me, there's me. That's my brother there, Idiot Ben. He's a way better channel than me, so I highly recommend him. He's hilarious. So check him out. But yeah, this is designed as a media device. So I mean, you're obviously going to be able to play games on it. I don't know how well we'll test that, but I'm assuming it's going to be, you know, really, really, really nice. So I'm gonna, you know, I'm not in a perfectly dark room here because that's not how I use my tablet. We're in a pretty mixed brightness here, but you can see how beautiful this looks. It looks way better in person to me than my camera. I'm looking at the camera. These blacks are absolute, quite nice. It may not be quite as nice as my like 42-inch OLED LG, but this looks really nice. It's the best tablet screen I've ever seen. I have an iPad Air over here. This is the newest iPad Air, 2022 or whatever. So this is going to be a good test because, you know, they have really good sound. Obviously the OLED tablet, and then I have a Surface 6 here, which is another really good tablet. It's like Windows tablet and kind of a flagship for that. Okay, I'm going to turn it up. So, one more time, just so you see what I'm talking about here. Yeah. So, the OLED is the, like, cheap Android tablet here, 120 hertz OLED from Lenovo is beating the iPad Air. No contest, it is winning. I think Apple has great sound. I'm sure that the Pro would probably be closer to this or even better, but the iPad Air, the newest one, 2013, is not going to win. So now we'll go with the Surface. So you can hear the difference there. one more switch. Okay, so it's obvious. I don't know how well my mic is going to pick it up, but the OLED wins. No contest. Significantly more bass on this than these two, like considerably so. The clarity of all three is fine. They're all, to be honest, quite nice to listen to. If somebody put on any of these, I'd be like, those sound nice. But when someone puts on, when I put on this one, I'm like, okay, well, hold on. We have something here. Like, so again, this isn't the most scientific test, but these two have more orange, this has more red. I'm not sure what the color is supposed to be. Vibrant blue, these are the same. Much more vibrant blue. Not sure if it's supposed to be more vibrant, but that's much sharper. Greens look the same. This is a little sharper. Way more blue. The screen also appears brighter, but it's not actually brighter. It's just that the colors pop more. So one advantage of this over the other two, both of them, is these are 4:3 screens. So when you're watching YouTube content, you get bezels. So you actually get less screen. It's good for like other stuff, like multitasking. But this is like a media tablet. So you can see it's a perfect 16:9. So for media consumption, this wins. In terms of the aspect ratio, these, you know, they get chiseled down. So even though this is a shorter device here, you can see there it's actually shorter, but the screen is actually bigger in terms of the height. Like you get an extra, I don't know, centimeter almost, to be honest. Yeah, you get about a centimeter, so like half an inch or so. You know, this is one of the compelling things you can do with Android tablets nowadays, now that you have productivity mode. So I have this hooked up here via a dongle. So I have two USBs in here. One of them is running the keyboard, one of them is running a mouse, but you can also use Bluetooth. I just wanted to test it. Power going in, and then I have my HDMI right here. So the cool thing is, you know, you can go between them here. This one is kind of in like tablet mode right now. And I can, you know, open up like a document or something on here. And so this is a very compelling use for it here. So you see I have Google open here. I have a Google spreadsheet over here. So I have some, this is just from my studies, but it's not really relevant, but let's just pretend we're over here. And, you know, I can work on, you know, entering numbers over here, or I could have a document on here and be reading it, whatever, put it in portrait mode. And you can come over here and, you know, I got this, whatever, I just found this in my Google Drive. I don't even know what this is, some old game thing. And then, you know, you can read that and you can use this as a desktop. Type a document right here and then use it later for my project. So basically, you know, we have a full-blown desktop experience here. It's going to be similar to like, you know, it's going to be similar to iPad OS. So, you know, it's not going to be exactly the same, but, you know, you have a dedicated old school, you know, start menu type thing down here. You have desktop apps over there. You know, I have a document over here that I'm reading off in theory. And so you can basically get a full desktop experience here. So this is all running off this tablet just for the dongle. I have my recent video over here that I just published today on this little Sprint thing. And, you know, I can have some YouTube open here or a movie or whatever. Doesn't really matter. And then I can do my work up here. You know, I could use this for reading. I could have, you know, like a document open here or a couple documents and be reading some notes off of that, typing them up here. Or, you know, I could do it this way where I have, you know, a YouTube video here playing on this beautiful OLED screen. And then I could come up here and I could be, you know, typing on my document here and reading off of a note here. So, you know, you're actually able to get a pretty good desktop experience with a tablet like this. And yeah, I can read this document over here, so you can have a lot on the go. And this is a 4 GB model. It does come in 6 GB. So if, you know, if you're really going to be using heavy apps at the same time, it's, you know, you may want to go with 6 GB, but we're seeing here that 4 GB is enough. I have YouTube open here playing 1080p 60 frames per second video. I have 2 different documents open here. This is a, you know, some emulating reading something, and then I'm typing over here and there's no system lag whatsoever. You know, it's nice and snappy. And I am playing Baldur's Gate. This is Siege of Dragonspear, which I almost beat and then I lost my save file. But yeah, I mean,